Throughout the years that I've been doing this channel, there's been a few cities that I drive into and I could just immediately tell things are, well, different. Hello my friends, it is I, your Uncle Splorin Ryan. Boy, that's something I haven't said in a long time. We are in Tavares, Florida. I've heard 13 different pronunciations of Tavares, from Tavares to Tavares to Tavares to, well, it doesn't matter. I'm sure if I'm saying it wrong, I'll hear about it in the comments. Located on the shores of Lake Dora, Tavares is a very interesting town with a lot of history. Originally built and sponsored and created and all that other fun stuff by a newspaper magnate way back when. Tavares has become known as America's Seaplane City, as you can see from the plaque on the public library. Also, if you haven't seen one before, that's a lubber. That is a very, very large grasshopper. One of many animals that probably shouldn't exist here in Orlando, where everything in nature is trying to kill you 24/7. We have some absolutely beautiful Victorians, and we have some Victorians that have seen better days. Today we are exploring. Today we're going to do a little exploring here of Tavares, Florida. Hey, join us if you haven't done so already, as we do just a little exploring. Stop number one is the vintage, through the years vintage market. I've heard about this place for the last couple of years. First time getting out here. As far as the antique stores go, this is supposed to be about as good as you get here in Orlando. I'm under the impression they have a decent Tiki collection and a decent mid-century modern collection. So today we're gonna check to see if the rumors are true. Little something for my steampunk friends. So this house is broken into several rooms. Each room is supposed to have a theme based on its era and its general feel, and then further separated by color. It might seem a little strange, but I'm a big fan of these old cans. I'm not going to buy one, but I'm a fan of them. There's nightmares. Ooh, glassware. And Christmas. Even smells like cinnamon in here. My grandparents had some of these things. Feels weird to see it in an antique store. Oh boy, bingo. Look at some of these mugs. I like. My wife just pointed out this lamp. This is very cool, and lighting is certainly at the top of my list. But so many choices. Look at these kava bowls. Oh, I'm gonna get myself in trouble in here. I'm not sure what that was. That bamboo wall shelf might be a winner as well. Oh, I love this place. Alright, I'm going to force myself to go into one of the other rooms, because I could very easily lose my entire day back there. Definitely a little bit more mid-America. And again, my grandparents had a lot of this stuff. Actually, my parents had some of this stuff. which I suppose means that as a child, I had some of this stuff. That's depressing. Here we have some mid-century, not mid-century modern, so to speak, but definitely, well, there's some mid-century modern in here too. There's some very cool stuff in here. I could very easily spend this entire video just looking around in this store. Actually, I like that lamp a lot. Look at the old Kool-Aid Man cup. Very cool glassware. Love the old motel no vacancy sign. Ooh, swizzle sticks. Again, I'm not sure what that's all about. Wow, look at that guy up there. My wife has found an old style pug. It's a boy. Look at this schnauzer. Ooh, more nightmares. Look at all this Christmas stuff.
I could not get that out of my mouth.
The wonders of science. Ooh, aloha. If you like old phones, they got you covered.
Now I was just reading something that came in today. They're going to charge us another $10 a month for.
So I'm hearing that this building actually used to be an old Greyhound station back in the day, which is funny because that's the only vintage I haven't seen so far.
For a low price of $7. You can have this
Now you too could bring a curse into your home for $7. That's one of those things you kind of wonder why it existed to begin with. A lot of books in here. Some African art. Some vaguely Maori. Ooh, Tiki throw pillows. Ooh, look at this old suitcase. Yeah, don't touch this one. Big Christmas room here. Well, I mean, little room, but Christmas stuff in it. Wow. Look at these old blow molds. This is me. Hello. These things seem so simple, and yet I haven't seen them for years. Here's the man cave from way back when. Got all your golfing things and your cars and your railroad pieces and your horse and your Canada Dry and your blankets. You get a lot of blankets for a man cave. Look at these old Amtrak maps. I mean, I don't think they're old. I'm gonna see 1986. That's not that old. Nothing is old until it's like, 20s or 30s, right? A lot of coastal stuff. Coastal is very popular in houses here in Florida. A lot of this stuff looks like it might be more like New England coastal, or even I'd say like North Carolina, Outer Banks coastal. Ooh. Kind of like this bamboo lamp here for $45. That's a winner. Oh, good. They do have a red stick. Looks like we got more Christmas stuff over here. This is the angel room. Looks like a lot of angels and pink angels. And here's after. Does he have a before? Oh, okay. So I get it. So this is before they get married. This is after they get married. I feel attacked. This is, I I thought it was made out of macaroni at first, but I guess that's, what is that? Is that paper on the top?
Capa de Monte Topiary lamp.
Capa de Monte Topiary, which of course is Latin for this lamp.
This is fabric and this is like ceramic.
I wonder if they came together originally, if they were married here. Yeah, look at this Christmas stuff, though. We got Joseph and Mary. They are
Protecting all of the decor.
protecting the floor and decor, which is also, by the way, a store, which rhymes. It does. Don't deny it. You know it does. Ooh, look at this old light-up tree. I think we all had a light-up tree at one point, right? We do. We do still have one.
The old vintage Noel.
These candles were awesome. Did you ever have the blow up? She does not want to be on camera. We all had the light up candles at one point.
$90.
$90, which is funny because back in the day, like 70s and 80s, those things were like $10 at every drugstore. Look at all these records. These all Christmas records? Or no, some of them are not Christmas. Got a nice little chandelier over here. A balanced diet is a Christmas cookie in each hand. Amen. You know, I feel like I've seen that Suncatcher before too. I see Spider-Man. I'm going to go in here and see Spider-Man. Spider-Man has a large contraption hooked onto his arm, which I feel would not be great in a fight. So this is the toy room, obviously. Got a whole bunch of Disney toys here. We got Frosty the Snowman, Annabelle, Life of the Party Soldier, Miss Yvonne, Satan. 2 stories about my day. I think about God. There's the Elon Musk doll. Oh, they have a My Little Cynic doll. They are colorful. Which, if I was going for more like of a mid-century modern vibe, I would be all about that. But I think for what I'm doing, it's more like a vintage Tiki. They have a Benji board game. Put a note down below in the comments if you remember Benji. Growing up, I had a Benji VHS of the Benji Christmas special, which it's probably been, I don't know, 30-odd years since the last time I saw it, and I still remember one of the songs that runs through my head. Lives rent-free, as the kids like to say. Right here, adulthood is mostly about being tired and wishing you hadn't made plans. You can tell it's vintage because it doesn't have anything about coffee or wine.
You know what, I need to get my frames. I have a tub that we moved, and if you open it up and see if you might want.
Oh my lord.
What do we have here? That is incredible. I feel like cards have actually devolved as time has gone by, maybe.
These are all birthday cards that were gifted to somebody else.
That's kind of sad. Thanks, Grandma. I'm selling this for 50 cents to the local antique store.
Postcards.
Sorry, Grandma. I hope you didn't put anything in the card that no one else was supposed to see. Happy birthday, Billy. Your grandfather is buried in the backyard. Well, before we leave, I think I'm going to take one more look at the Tiki room because I saw a lot of things that I am all about. I think one of these mugs is going to come home with me. I believe I'm going to pick up the matching set of these bookends with the jade on them, which is just fantastic. It's a girl. All right, as we're purchasing these, you were just pointing out, and you're the purveyor of the store.
Yes.
What's your name, sir?
Wayne.
Wayne.
Yes.
Can you, this telephone over here, we were just talking.
Yeah.
You're actually using one of these
We use
antique
this
phones.
every day.
Because the new ones just,
They break, they don't last. And these old ones just keep going. So we've been using that one for about 5 or 6 years now.
how old would you say that phone is?
Probably from the 1970s, maybe early 80s.
I was going to say that looks like what I grew up with, well, for a while at least. Beautiful. You have a great shop, by the way.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And plenty of Tiki stuff. For all my friends who were looking for Tiki, You said that come October, you guys are going to be flush with it again.
We're going to have a lot coming in that we bring in from the New England area. Yes.
Which, for all of you that are New Englandites, get your stuff ready and don't watch this video because certainly nobody wants your tiki. You can just leave it on the doorstep and go. So with this channel, I do a lot of antique stores and flea markets and antique markets and flea stores and flea antiques and all that happy stuff. And I have to say, this is probably, for what I'm looking for, about the best I've found so far. And this is, again, called Through the Years Vintage Market, Antiques, Vintage, and Repurposed. This is on the corner of New Hampshire and Alfred Street here in Tavares. Heading to the shores of Mount Dora now. This is Wooton Park, which is, this is their big park, their big municipal area. But it's also famous for the fact that this is largely where you can go to watch some of the waterplanes landing or taking off, as the case may be. Now, the weather is iffy today. It's not raining, it's not storming at the moment, but it is threatening to. It has been, it's summer in Orlando. It has been storming and raining, so I don't expect to see a whole lot of activity right now, but you can see where the planes are, at least, and there's a few of them sitting right over here in the marsh and the muck on the shores of Lake Dora. Also right over here, I'm kind of surprised to see that there's no fencing to keep people away. If you see over here, this is perfect alligator and snake geography, for lack of a better word. I would not recommend going anywhere nearer to the water than right here. They have some benches here that are left as memorials. This is Bobby Wynn Sr., 1922 to 2004. One day at a time, love, laughter, friendship. Well said, Mr. Wynn. Give you a closer look at a couple of these seaplanes over here. They, I don't see a good way to get into this one other than just kind of stepping over and getting in. I thought there'd be a dock for all of these, and some of them do have a dock, but this one certainly does not. This may be the closest I've ever gotten to one of these seaplanes in the wild, in its natural habitat, if you will. As I said, this is definitely alligator territory, so I'd be a little nervous about having to get in and out of that. We may actually be getting a chance to see how they get in and out of the seaplane. Looks like this is the Jones Brothers and Company Experience the Ride of Your Life flight seeing tours. So you could take a seaplane out over the waters. I understand they also do around here some. By the way, there's the Jones Brothers building. They also do some chartered flights out of here. It'd take you out to places like Clearwater or Key West. Looks like they've also got Adventure Outdoor Paddle. I know that there are a lot of paddle boats going out of this area as well. So it looks like you could either fly or take a paddle boat out of this building. And actually, a little bit out in the distance, I believe I may actually see a paddle wheeler. Not a paddle boat, but a paddle wheeler out there. Yeah, it looks like those gentlemen are in fact getting into the seaplane. They're just kind of crawling up over. Looks like the prop shop that they mentioned, Snacks, Gifts, and Apparel, Land and Sea. The Woodlea House is apparently where it came from, 1871. This is a replica, completed in 2010. I had heard that there was, yeah, this is it, famous old historical house from 1871, burned to the ground in 2007. So when you're in Tavares, this is where you come to get your beverages, your Tavares clothing, and of course, your canoe. I see where they're removing some of the blocks around that seaplane over there. We may actually get a chance to watch one of these guys take off. While we are waiting, there's a parking lot over here for the seaplanes. And it looks like they just kind of come down this ramp right into the water and they take off. There's a pretty good amount of room here for them to do so. You could eat over at Puddle Jumpers Bar and Grill over there and just sit there and watch the planes come and go. Actually, that one right there, Lake 250 Renegade, I'm not any sort of expert on how these planes work, but first of all, if I don't see the the water things on the bottom of the plane. I see them on the wings, so this is a different setup, obviously, but it's got some sort of large growth coming out of the top of it, and I'm going to assume that is, of course, on purpose. And we will just assume that it does not need some sort of treatment for the growth. And now they are pointing to a gator that they just saw, so, you know, like I said, don't go in there. I make it a point not to film public restrooms because I make it a point not to film public restrooms. But in this particular case, I feel like I can be excused to film the outside. Antique Classic Boat Festival, March 21st through 23rd, 2025. As of filming, we are, I don't know, maybe 2 months past this, so it already happened. But I've never seen them put a mural on a public building for an event like that before. Gorgeous little river walk they got going on here, though. And I'm getting a very nice breeze off of it. I see an event company unloading over here, heading into this building. So this is, I'm guessing, some sort of event center, possibly a restaurant, but I don't see any real signs on it to say that. So probably more like a rental facility more than anything else. Can we take a second to talk about this landscaping, though? Look at these oaks. They are absolutely enormous, and they just kind of keep going forever. A lot of beautiful Spanish moss. Got some beautiful ferns. Just like I said, the landscaping is incredible right here. In addition to what we've already seen, this area also, you know, being a park, has park things for your kids. Like right over there, there's a Lake Dora splash pad. It's not really turned on at the moment, but I like that seaplane that they've got floating above it all. And they have a playground that kind of looks like air traffic control or a lighthouse. Very cool theming. And as you can see, the landscaping just kind of keeps going throughout the entire thing. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous area. You can see also that it does still embrace its railroad roots. The railroad was a big piece of all of this up until recently. Right over here you could see the station. As I understand it, up until fairly recently, this train station still operated a tourism type run from here to Mount Dora. Take a train from here across the water. Well, it didn't go across the water. You went around the water. But as I understand, they did shut that down a couple of years ago. I don't think I've seen one of these before, and I've been in Florida for 14 years. It's sort of like a hanging planter coming off of this particular oak tree. If you know what that is, by all means, I'd love to know. Well, that seaplane actually looks like it's starting to take off. Waited for us to get all the way into the park before it did so. But let's see if we can get you a couple of seconds of footage of it. It's going to be interesting because it is going out into the better, larger part of the lake. There's a lot of boats around it right now, a lot of pontoon boats. So I'd be interested to see how that works in terms of the wake coming off the plane, coming off the boats. Actually, looks like we got one of these birds coming down for a landing over here. Really close to that pontoon boat. I'm actually very surprised they're allowed to do that. While the other guy is just sort of slowly drifting off. I'm going to take you around downtown. Got some very cool buildings out here. Vintage buildings. This one is an Irish pub, but it looks like it might be an old railroad building as well. Everywhere you go, you get little reminders about the seaplanes. They definitely embrace it. Actually, I'll give you a quick idea. This is right here, the area that we're talking about. So we are, I believe somewhere, yeah, we are right here. It's City Hall over here. Over here at the library is where we were earlier when we stopped at the vintage store. Historical courthouse. sheriff's office, Lake County Jail, a little less of a tourism magnet. But this whole area right through here, museums, stores, restaurants, all that kind of stuff. And that's the type of stuff that we're going to look at today. Here's the other set of puddle jumpers. I got to tell you, it smells fantastic. Seaplane Social. I smell burgers. Delicious, delicious burgers. We're currently walking the main drag that is parallel to Wooton Park and the, well, I'll give you an idea. Right over there, you can see the parking lot that had those planes I pointed out earlier. It's lively but not busy, if that makes sense. Right over here, you see the Tiki West. Now, as you know, I'm a tiki nut. This is not what I would consider to be real tiki. This is more like your Key West-ish tiki. So the food is probably fantastic, but if you're going to go in here, don't expect to find anything Polynesian. Now, I have heard about this. This is the Argonaut Bar and Lounge. And as you see, there is a submarine up here, and that is because this is a submarine-themed bar and grill. As you can see right here, they've got the portholes ready to go. They open at 1 o'clock till 12 o'clock. As I understand, this is like your drinks and your finger foods and things like that. Speaking of Key West, I've got wine and cigar bar Hemingway's right here. Hemingway's is also very Key West, as I understand. Not a big cigar person, and they're obviously pushing that, so moving on. You can certainly smell the cigars as you go by. Right here is the Nautilus Coffee Company. We're going to go in here for a moment. They have your typical menu, which you would expect, of course, but there's also a main menu and a selection of energy sodas, which I don't think I've seen before. Here's your main menu. By tomorrow, this will be gone, of course. But realistically, most people are probably here not just for the caffeine, but for the atmosphere. And they do the atmosphere real well in here. Look at these Japanese fishing floats. Very cool. Even the counter is cool looking. Continuing down the road, we've got the Ironwork Steaks and Fine Cocktails, which, as you can see, is once again pretty heavily themed. And then right here is Poppy's Ice Cream with bubble waffles, floats, sundae shakes. It's sort of got a theme to itself too. I could tell from just a quick look. They've got a little bit of like a boardwalk flair to them. Look at this. Kind of hard to see through the window. They're not open just yet. This town is definitely embracing tourism. Oh my gosh, look at this Coliseum-themed building over here. And I think this is actually a government building. As my wife just pointed out, over there is the Citrus. The Citrus is a small boutique hotel. They've got a sky bar on the roof of it. Very quiet looking. From the look of things, it looks like there may have been some sort of marquee out front that is not there at the moment. It looks like there's some construction going on, but if you want to get the full experience of Tavares, this might be a good place, especially since it's right on the waterfront. By the way, I went with the white chocolate iced latte over at the Nautilus. It's actually very good. Very heavy on the roasty flavor on the beans, which is actually, to me at least, a good thing. Oh, okay, so the Citrus actually goes over here too, so it's multiple buildings actually. This is the Citrus. The building over there we pointed out is the Citrus. This building is a Citrus, so it's a hotel, but it's actually kind of like having multiple hotels, I suppose. That definitely makes it a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. Very unique area. This area does look a little bit more traditional, if you will. I can see there's a lot of public and municipal buildings down here. The Lake County Republican Party over there. Looks like there might be another park up the street. Love the architecture and the ironwork on some of these buildings. Just the little details makes all the difference. This is a unique building right over here too. Butterflies all over the place down here. The Dollhouse Den. This must be the place. They have candy cigarettes in the window. They have a Michelob light candle. They have Dolly Parton. But they are, alas, closed. The Honey Badger Tattoo Company. Look at this building. This is a very unusual building. And again, that wrought iron that I love so very much. This is a very different town, and even just looking around here, look at this. This has got a lot of old Florida to it. They have Munchie's Live Barbecue over there, which closes at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, which is, I'm not gonna, reopens at 5. Okay. Well, we are at 3, so we're not doing that, which is too bad because I loves me some local barbecue. Alas, but we do have another local place that we've heard a lot about that we're going to try instead. And it's called Do-It-Yourself Pest and Lawn Care. No, it's not. This isn't that kind of video. It's actually up here, and it's a place called BTW. Burgers, Tacos, and Waffles. And it's right over here. Ooh. This is unusual. So a lot of build yourself a burger type thing, or build yourself a taco, or even build yourself a waffle. What did you find? WTF? What the fish? And what is what the fish?
Black and mahi, pico, red cabbage, and baja sauce.
Oh, that sounds like something you'd like.
And then they have the barbacoa pork.
Barbacoa pork, okay.
Or the shrimp. But my sister would be allergic to that, so no to that. They don't have anything with grilled chicken, it's just fried chicken.
Corn and the fish
Yep. Half-pound cookies. Wow. The A&P. I don't know if that meant that this used to be an A&P grocery store, but it's certainly not anymore. It's not super busy at the moment, but the whole town is just sort of alive, but not busy. But I like the way that it's all done here. Very cool menu, very friendly people here. Actually, everywhere we've been so far, the people have been super friendly. So if you're looking for friendly people, that sounds a little weird, but they have them. The gentleman working here just let me know that they've redone a lot of this room in the last few weeks. So while we go in, he said there's a lot of Easter eggs if you're familiar with the Alice in Wonderland movie. Probably the books too, but the movie what was brought up. As you can see, you've got the floating chairs, probably from the rabbit hole. You have the rose garden. Of course, the caterpillar smoking a hookah. Looks like they've been painting the roses. You've got the Mad Hatter's hat up there. Over there, they've got the Jabberwocky. Very comfortable looking place in here. Up there, you got the Cheshire Cat. I'll take you in the back and see some of this stuff. I like this monkey lamp with the Edison light bulb. Got more mushrooms. The rabbit, the hare. I don't know if that's the white rabbit or the Cheshire hare. Cheshire hare? Excuse me. It's not the Cheshire hare. There's a hare, but it's not a Cheshire hare. More roses, flowers. You got the talking flowers up there. And then over here, the bar itself, which is obviously very well stocked. There's the white rabbit. Okay, the white rabbit is on the bar. They also do coffee here, so it's not just liquor, it's also coffee. A whole bunch of books up there, like a library. I was about to say that the only thing that I don't see in here is Alice, but I think it's because you are supposed to play the part of Alice. Alright, just received the food. We got the waffle fries with the homemade ranch, which by the way is fantastic. And in my case, I just got the regular burger with the thick cut bacon, which is looking pretty good, but admittedly I have yet to actually sample it. Alright, the burger was actually really good. It was one of the messier burgers that I've had, just because it's so juicy, which is why you did not get a video of me eating it. Nobody needs to be seeing that. And leaving, it drops us off right in front of Tavares City Hall, or Tavares City Hall. Tavares. 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 Looks like there's yet another ice cream parlor over here. This is the Tavares. I'm going to keep doing that. Established 2017. Fresh and tasty. So if you want fresh and tasty ice cream, none of that garbage ice cream here. It's Hershey's. So I've heard of them. I always like finding these sticker collections. Seeing how many of them I know. In this case, very few. But if your band happens to be up here, let me know. So over here is the Ruby Street Grill. I want to show you the mural that they've got painted on the outside of the building. Join us on the deck. I have to show you the deck. There's the deck. The deck looks a little, how do I want to say this? Not quite ready for prime time. Of course, you can never really judge a book by its cover. Here's the other side of the Tavares train station. This is the one I mentioned earlier, was being run up until a couple of years ago. Now it's the Chamber of Commerce building. Check this out. Do you get any more Florida than this scene right here? I think that's real. It's real. I really like what those guys over there did painting the house. I don't want to do it, but I like that they did it. So over here's the train station. You can see got some more of these benches that are memorial benches. But what I wanted to show you is that you could actually come out here and look at the train tracks right up close and personal. I don't know that there's any trains coming anymore, but there could be. So I probably won't stand on them for too long. Beautiful though, isn't it? Look what they've got hanging here at the train station. Hammock, More Juice brand, Oranges and Grapefruit, Lake Region Packing Association. And you could actually, if you want to, take a moment to watch the bird go across. You can actually, if you want to, scan the QR code right here and learn just a little bit more about that. Here's the old box office for the train station. Oh, he got something there. She got something there. The bird got something there. Here's a very cool antique. And so I think that's going to do it for us today from Tavares, Florida. If you enjoyed taking a walk around the city and you enjoy such things, I sure would appreciate it if you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button down below, and most importantly, I hope you will join us next time as we do just a little more Splorin.